Hi, Jared here again. I'm just today going to be talking to you a little bit about RSPs. Lots of ideas out there about RSPs, but there's some real common sense things that we just want to make sure that you're understanding. And obviously, a lot of this is doing the best you can. So, when we can do it, what we want to talk about is contribute early and contribute regularly to your RSPs as two concepts. So, what we're hoping to get across today is that RSPs and compounding is really on your side in RSP. The whole point of an RSP is when you put money in there, you're not paying tax on that money, so it's growing at that larger rate. You basically have a net amount of money that's able to go in there because you didn't pay the tax on those funds. That big amount is going in early, thus compounding a lot more in its lifetime. But the thing that's often missed in that is that if you have sort of three different possibilities of when you're putting in funds to that RSP that are most often followed, and we just want to go into how the difference that is there in the compounding. So if, for example, you wait till deadline to put money in, and obviously what I want to point out, don't let the tail wag the dog here. Basically, if you're going to put in money and the only time you can do it is right before the deadline, it's way better to have done that than to not do it for your RSPs to reduce your income for the previous year. But if you wait till March 1st of after the first 60 days of the year, and so right at the deadline when you can put in RSPs, if you contribute $10,000 in and you do that repeatedly after 20 years, that grows into $318,000 in our sort of forecasting that we do, right? But if you instead put that same $10,000 in gradually by putting in once a month or installments, there's a couple of advantages you get out of that. And if considering if you get the exact same rate of return and the exact same amount of units bought, basically the amount that you would grow would be an extra $12,760 basically over the lifetime, over the 20 years of growth, so that you get quite a bit more growth just by choosing to do it monthly, right? And even more so if you right on the first day of the year that you're allowed to, so January 1st each year, if you contributed that $10,000 right up front at the forefront of the year, the compounding would be an extra $19,131 over that 20 years. So it's just not ignoring the effect that compounding has to have larger growth on a $10,000 a year contribution. No matter what you're putting in, the concept remains the same. All right. Put it in earlier if you can. There's a lot to be said for doing it monthly. If you don't feel like you can put it in, it's a lot easier for most people to make monthly contributions. It buys into something we'll call dollar cost averaging, which we'll cover off in another one of our topics here. But basically, the idea is the same as put it in earlier, and you're going to have more money at the end of the day, given everything else remaining equal. So that's the best case scenario, and hopefully we can all try and exercise that if possible, but always remember more is better no matter when you have to do it. So get it in there. Just if you could do it earlier, do it earlier. Great. Have a good day.